Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Kim, a fairly average mum, and today I've got a get ready with me story time video, and I've also got a collaboration with Joancee. So let's get cracking. So it seems like forever ago since I filmed one of these, but anyway, I thought I'd do one today. But also this company called, I don't know how you pronounce it, I don't know if it's supposed to be like fiance, so Joancee, or whether it's Joancee or what it is. They contacted me and asked me if they could send me out some rings. Now, yes, please send me out some. So I did a little bit of research on the website, and they have all these absolutely stunning rings on there, so sort of engagement rings, wedding rings, things like that, also dress rings, and they're absolutely beautiful. They gave me a list of ones that I could choose from. It took me about 2 days before I could actually choose which one I wanted, because really I would have had any of them, you know. And then they picked another one out to send me themselves. So they've come, I'm dead excited. So I'm going to do this before I tell you about the story. This is related to the story, I have to tell you. Sorry, just get myself comfortable. So what's amazing about this company is they sell wedding bands and engagement rings, but they're at a fraction of what you could be paying if you went to buy sort of a white gold diamond engagement ring. But they've got the same impact. In fact, in my experience, having seen this, because I did briefly look at it before, they're actually more impactful than other ones that you could get, right? And the other thing is, right, okay, when I was young, people used to say that your engagement ring should cost your partner a month's salary. Right. Okay, right. There's never come a point in my life, or any of the other poor people that I knew growing up, right, that you would have a month's salary going begging to spend on a ring. Just never were that the case. And honestly, when you show people your engagement ring or your wedding ring, does anybody check what it's made of? No, do the eckers like, right? If they did, they're probably not your friends, right? So what's amazing about these is, like I say, they're at a fraction of the price that you could be paying if you went to sort of a jeweller's and things like that, but they make a massive impact. And also, they're made of sterling, the ones I've got anyway, made of sterling silver with white sapphires in them. Right, so it means you can wear them all the time. They're not going to tarnish, they're not going to go manky, you know, so fantastic. So I better show you them before I crack on with what else. So they've come in this beautiful sort of box. Inside the top, there's the 2 boxes with the rings in. I'll show you that in a minute. Where have I put my gigs? Put my gigs on so I can show you properly, or so that I can see them properly. Why are my glasses never clean? Honestly, is it just me that goes to put a pair of glasses on and realise I put a great big finger blob on them? But anyway, right, so put my gigs on. Right, so, and in the bottom here, there's a couple of bits. This little leaflet here says, thank you for selecting this sterling silver gift from Joancee. Sterling silver is a precious metal and may require cleaning from time to time. Well, all precious metals do, don't they? Using a small amount of silver polish on a soft cloth, rub the piece of silver several times. This will remove the tarnish and dullness, keeping your sterling silver like new. Well, I'll tell you something. I wear sterling silver all the time, right? I've got bracelets and everything. I'm always in sterling silver. I find in shower it gets clean. I don't take it off to get in the shower, me. I just find that it keeps clean. But if that's what they're saying. Oh, and in this, you get your little cloth to wipe it. Oh, lovely. Look at that. That's really cute. Nice detail there. So I better show you these rings. Right, so in this first box, this is the one that they chose for me. Here it is. Right, just let me move that out of the way. Look at that. It's beautiful. It's like a wedding band. This is it here. And then it's got these lovely white sapphires going all the way, well, half the way around it, more than half the way around it, I think. So I got them to fit on my wedding finger. Okay, that's part of the story. I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Look how beautiful that is. You're not telling me that anybody, you could put that on and anybody's going to be able to tell the difference between that and a white gold and diamond ring. You know, you wear it with confidence and that's it. People would believe that. It's absolutely beautiful. It's so comfortable on as well. So that's the first ring that they sent me. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. I think it might be, I might prefer it to the other one I bought, because I went for bold and beautiful when it came to the sort of engagement ring one, right? But because I like bold and beautiful, you know, why not, right? Why not? So anyway, this is the other one. Look, they come gift box, they're beautiful. Look at this. Look at how beautiful that is. Let me get it out of the box to show you. Oh my days. Look at it shine. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's really, really gorgeous. Look at that, right? I'll tell you what, that's going to make a statement right there. I just think together they look so beautiful as well. It's sort of raised up. Let me tell you what it says about it. The wedding band, the first one I showed you, is a twisted round cut white sapphire sterling silver wedding band. And the other one here, the engagement ring one, is a round cut white sapphire sterling silver engagement ring. Now, like I say, they had loads of these. You could get pink sapphires as well. There were a beautiful one in the shape of a heart. I may end up buying that for myself. But I absolutely love them. I think they're gorgeous. And I'm going to keep them on from here on in. Okay. They sit together really nicely as well. Look at the size of that thing. I'll tell you what, when you say I've got engaged, this is not going to happen to me, is it? But if you were to tell people you'd got engaged and you flashed that at them, that's going to make a statement right there, isn't it? Like I say, they're at a fraction of what you could be paying for like white golds and diamonds, but they make such a statement. I absolutely love them. I love the sparkle on that. Look how much that sparkles. It's just so beautiful. I'm going to link these in the description box as well, so that you can, if you're wanting to get one for yourself or have a look on the website or anything like that, it'll take you to them, because it's so pretty. I mean, the stones on this one go all the way around underneath there, right up to where the big stone is, and then most of the way around the actual band. It is actual white sapphires in that. I just think they're amazing. If this had been around when I'd got engaged all those years ago, I think I'd have rather had that than what I did have. So anyway, thank you Joancee, fiance, for sending me these, because I absolutely love them. I'll be wearing them from here on in. Just so impressed with it. Anyway, right. So I'll come back to those at the end, but I just wanted to show you them anyway, because I just think they're amazing. And I'm keeping them on those fingers as well. Right, I don't care. Don't be told by other people that you can't wear rings where you want to wear them. And don't think you have to wait to get engaged to be able to buy yourself something beautiful like that. I mean, I'm definitely going back for that pink one. I'm going to get myself that pink heart one, because it's like a heart shape, and it's a pink sapphire, and it's also got white sapphires all around it in the shape of a heart. It's stunning, but I just love this. Like I say, I went for big and beautiful. But anyway, right, I'll start doing my makeup, take my gigs off again so I can do it. And I'm going to tell you why I asked for them for that finger. Right, okay. So first thing I'm going to put on is this Able skincare, which I got in a mystery box. So, or in, it were in one of them. I have to shake it because it separates otherwise. Right, and I'm going to put that on as moisturiser. I got it in one of my regular monthly subscription boxes, I think. So, yeah, just putting a bit of this on. Give myself a bit of a base. It smells lovely. Look at those sparkle. Right, okay, so I'm going to tell you this story and why I want to wear these, or why I want to have rings that look like engagement rings and wedding rings. I could take the labels off them, but I'll wait until the end. Anyway, right. So, I'm going to tell you a story about the time that I caught a guy, like a criminal. Single-handedly caught a criminal, right? Okay. I was like, Miss Marple, right? I'm not joking you. Right, so what happens was, me and my sister decided to go out. I'm putting a bit more moisturiser on. This was when my kids were young, right? And I hardly ever got to go out because I were on my own bringing up my kids. One, there were hardly any money to spare. And two, it were hard getting anybody to babysit. my mum used to work, and also my mum's attitude to babysitting at the time was, I've done my porridge, you know what I mean? They're your kids, you look after them kind of thing. Which, you know, in hindsight, might have been a bit harsh. But she would step in if it were out special, you know, like I had to go anywhere important, doctors or something, you know, and I couldn't set the kids. But she wouldn't do it for babysitting sort of while I went out very often. Anyway, this one particular day, she'd agreed to babysit. Okay, let me have a look what I'm putting on next. Oh, I forgot my water egg, hang on. Okay, I got my water egg. And I'm putting on, as always, this Avon BB cream because it is literally the only thing I've got at the moment that will sort of semi-match my tanned face. I've still got a bit of that chemical burn there as well, look. Anyway, right, so this one particular night, I had a bit of money. I think it might have been a gift or something, like a birthday present. Can't honestly remember. So I had about £60, and me and my sister decided we're going out anyway, right? Might have had a bit more than that, to be honest with you. Anyway, we go out and we go around to local town by where we live, right? Now I'm going to use this Duce mirror compact, right? Okay, so, and put this on. Right, so try and cover up my chemical burn from my blooming trying to near me tash. Anyway, right, so we go out this night and we'd not been out for ages. So I had a couple of drinks, of course they went straight to my head. Anyway, we'd been out for a little while and this guy sort of approached us. And I sort of and started hanging around with us, you know, like sometimes you do when you go out. Anyway, starts hanging around with us. And there were just me, my sister and this guy. But he were like chatting away to us. He were quite sort of semi-funny and what have you. Anyway, we decided we were going to go to this other club that were called the Blob Shop, right? Okay, that's what it used to be called. I'm not making it up. It's not there anymore. If it is, they've changed the name. Anyway, we decided we're going to go to the Blob Shop. So we head off up there. I'm wearing a pair of heels that were like I was struggling to walking up there. Anyway, we get there, and when you got there, you could dance and things. It were like sort of a pub that were open quite late, and they had like music on, and you could dance and what have you. Had a little dance floor and what have you. So me and my sister are getting up and dancing and stuff, taking our handbags with us. Now, at the time, I've got this cash in my handbag, which were about £50 still in my handbag. Anyway, didn't think too much about it. We're getting up and stuff. This guy says to us, I need to go to toilets. And toilets were downstairs in Blob Shop, right? Do you mind if I leave my coat and stuff for you to look after? So we're like, no problem at all. Off he goes to toilet. Right, that's semi-covered. That's going to have to do for today, all right? I'm trying to make a silk purse out of a sow's ear, but anyway, right, that'll have to do. I might put a little bit more on there. Put a little bit more on my chemical burn. I don't know where I got this water egg from. I think it might have been Boots, you know. Just try and cover that up a little bit and a little bit on that side where it's still quite bad. Hoping that works. So anyway, he goes off to the toilet with Gardy's sort of coat because it's quite busy in there and stuff. So anyway, we are getting up and dancing. At one point, we just left him with our handbags while we got up and danced. We weren't dancing that far away from him and stuff. Anyway, shortly thereafter, me and my sister decide we're going home, right? We've had enough, we're going home. My mum wasn't going to be babysitting till very late anyway, and so I didn't want to be leaving her, you know, her to get cross or out like that about it, right? So I'm just going to use this Duce blusher that I got. I think I got this in a cohorted box that I got on Voucher. Really like this colour. Anyway, it's quite strong though, so I can only put a little bit on because it does tend to make me very, very red. Anyway, right, so shortly thereafter, we decide that we're going to go home. So we say to this guy, but at some point during the night, I'd swapped phone numbers with this guy. You know, just, I didn't really fancy him out, but you know what I mean? He'd asked and I sort of thought, oh yeah, no problem. I'll swap phone numbers with him. So I do. Anyway, we're getting a taxi to go home because it's too late for buses and what have you. And I say to my sister, whose name's Lee, hi Lee, if you're watching this, right? I said to her, I'll pay for the taxi, love, right? So she's like, are you sure? I said, yeah, no problem. We go to get out the taxi and I'm looking around in my handbag. I realise there's no money in my handbag, right? 50 quid gone out of my handbag, right? I know immediately it's this guy. Know immediately it's him, because we've not left our handbags with anybody else except this guy. Right, so I'm just going to use this Revolution highlighter, which I bought myself, and I'm going to use this lightest one here. So anyway, right, I know it's this guy. So I get out of the taxi, walk upstairs to my flat where my mum's there with kids and stuff. And I say to my mum, I've been robbed by this guy. Right, okay. So I rang police just on normal sort of, you know, the, not emergency police are out, but just on the normal number. See, I'm using the same brush again. This is what I tend to do. Same brush for highlighter as blusher. Find it blends. It's not remotely that I just couldn't be bothered getting another brush. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, right, so I decide I'm going to make a quick report about it to police. So I did, and what have you. No, I wasn't insured for this money. I never thought I'd see it again, you know. I thought I'll have to chalk this one up to experience, you know, what an idiot. Clearly, it were a ploy. This guy leaves us in charge of his coat so that we'll think he thinks we're trustworthy, we'll think he's trustworthy, so we'll leave him to look after our bags. Clearly, he'd got it off pat, this routine, do you know what I mean? Right. So, made a quick report to police. Right, next up, I'm going to do my eyebrows. Now, in a Beguiled box a while ago, I got this eye pencil, and it's by Indestructibrow. Right, I absolutely love it. It's got a spoolie on one end, and then it's just got the little fine sort of pencil-y thing on the other end. I don't use a spoolie because I don't have enough eyebrow. Well, I do, but it's white, so you can't see it. It's no point me brushing it. So I'm just going to use this to try and draw in my eyebrows. And I'll just try and draw in individual hairs so that it doesn't look quite so obvious that I've got next to no brow. Anyway, so me and my mum decided we're going to make something to eat. So we made something to eat. We're sitting down eating this food and just chatting and what have you. I'm saying how stupid I am for leaving this guy in charge of my bag, and, you know, and I should have known. I were a fair age by this point, might have been in my 30s. Well, I were in my 30s. Right, so I thought, what an idiot, you know, that I've done that. But anyway, we're chatting away, and all of a sudden my mobile phone rings, right? It were a brick, you know, we're back in the days where you had a brick, right, which didn't do much except phone, right, text, perhaps. I don't know if that brow looks all right, but anyway, it'll have to do for now. Maybe I'll go off camera and sort them out. Anyway, right, so I'll try and make the other one semi-match that. So my phone goes. So I pick up the phone, and it's a woman's voice on the other end of the phone, yelling down the phone. No, maybe screaming down the phone at me. Who's this? What's my husband doing with your phone number? Right, so gather straight away that this woman is this guy's wife, right? So I said to her, never mind what's your husband doing with my phone number. I said, what's your husband doing with my 50 quid, love? And she went, what do you mean? She's shouting at me still down the phone. Right, I said, he's just robbed me in town. Right, and that were it. She said to me, he's just me up. Right, oh my God, it were awful. Immediately, you know, I thought, I've got to help this woman. Got to help her. Right, you know, I can't like hang up the phone to her knowing that she's on her own in her house. And I said, is he still there? No, he's not there. I said, stay on the phone with me, stay on the phone with me. I'm going to phone the police. So I had a landline. So I put my mother on to this woman, got some details off her first, where she lived, you know, was she all right? Was she in a bad condition? One thing, no, by this time we're like busy mates, right? So I passed her on to my mum while I phoned the police again. So I have to make this report about this poor woman, do you know what I mean? And what's happening to her. Anyway, I got the phone back off my mum after I'd reported it to police. Police said, stay on the phone to her. Right, so I did. Stayed on the phone to her. And I heard cars pull up outside. Well, I heard alarm, then cars pull up outside, and a door open. I could hear coppers. Copper came, took the phone off her, and came and spoke to me. Now, I don't know if they're level or even. I'll have to look at them when I put my glasses on, because there might be two completely different eyebrows. They might not be sisters, do you know what I'm saying? They might not even be distant relatives, but anyway, we'll do with that for now. Right, so next up, I'm going to do some eyeshadow, and I'm going to use, oh, I've just bent my spoolie trying to put my lip back on. over, isn't it? Right, okay. So I'm going to use, which is my favourite palette, and it's this Rose Metals palette by Velvet 59. I absolutely love it. And as I showed you before, one of the colours is like all broken up, which I'm very sad about because that was my favourite colour, but I'm not using that colour today. I'm going to use this pinky colour, and I'm also going to use that sort of turquoisey one there. Just why not? Why not? You know. Anyway, and the brushes I'm using are, I'm using a Poundland brush that costs £1 and a Savers brush that costs £2. So I'm going to put the light colour, I'll use this and I'll put the light colour all over my lid and sort of slightly underneath here. So this light pinkish tone, which is called Rose Silver. Okay. So anyway, Cop's got on the phone to me. I said, is she okay? Yeah, she's fine, love, you know, kind of thing. So I get off the phone to her. He said, we'll look after her, you know what I mean? Right, so that's that. Me and my mother are sitting there. I'm trying to explain to my mum all this poor woman had said to me and everything, right? And we're discussing what an absolute this guy is. You know what I mean? That in the space of one night, he's robbed one woman, then gone home and it's his wife. You know, I mean, you know, what a catch. What a catch. Just saying. Anyway, right, so we're having this discussion and my mum's taking plates into the kitchen because we've been sat on the sofa eating some sandwiches and stuff. And so she's taking plates in the kitchen. My mobile phone rings. It's this guy. It's this guy on phone to me. Right. So I go into the kitchen, I'm saying it's him on phone. It's him on phone. My mum's like, don't answer it. I said, I am answering it. Right. Okay. So I answer this phone. Right. So I've put all that all over my eyelids. I'll blend it out in whatever in a minute. Right. And I've put it slightly on the inside. I'm developing just the two eye colour looks. Right. Okay. So I'm going to use the same brush and I'm going to use this turquoisey colour, but I'm just using a little bit of it. Right. And I'm going to put it in my crease a little bit and try and blend it. Because I don't want it to look bright turquoise. I just want it to be a bit of shading, you know. So anyway. So this guy talking to me on phone. Hi, you all right? This is after he's been home and done what he's done to his wife, right? You would think literally nothing had happened to him. Literally nothing had happened to him. Right. So I said to him, oh, where are you? So he tells me he's in an hotel in my local town. Right. I'm thinking, oh yeah, my 50 quid, that's what's paid for that. Do you know what I mean? Because this is a few years ago. So he said to me, do you fancy coming round and meeting us? So I'm saying, oh yeah, trying to get details off him. My mother, who has no clue what I'm doing or anything, is going ballistic in the background. I'm trying to get her to shut up, right? Because she thinks that I am genuinely, I'm so convincing that I am genuinely planning to go meet this man. You know what I mean? I'm not. I'm really, really not. I know he's in this hotel, but I have no clue. This hotel's got something like 300 rooms. Where is it? I cannot phone the police and say he's staying somewhere in that hotel. I've got to, you know, find out where he is. Anyway, he's saying to me, so do you fancy coming and meeting us? And I'm saying to me, I'm like hitting my mum, like, her hand down, because she's after, right? I'm hitting her hand down and stuff, and I'm saying to her, it's fine like that, right? It's not, I'm not babysitting these kids for any longer and stuff, right? Anyway, right, so that's going to have to do. It's very, very light, and I'm going to use my clean brush, and I'm just going to try and blend that out a little bit so that there's no harsh lines. Anyway, right, so he says to me, he said, have you got enough money to come and meet me? I thought, you cheeky so-and-so. He knows the money I think I've got in my handbag, I don't have in my handbag. So I said, oh, yeah, no problem, I've got a card. Right, no problem at all, I'll come and meet you, you know, right? So I said to him, where am I meeting you? So he told me his hotel room. Okay, so I said, yeah, no problem, I'll be there. So I get off the phone. All right, so next I'm going to use this, which I also got in a box, which is by The Beauty Crop, and it's just a black mascara. I quite like it. It's not my favourite, but I quite like it. You know, through a daytime, when you're just doing a daytime look, it's quite nice. Anyway, so he's told me his hotel room, which hotel he's staying in. So I phoned cops. I'll just have to concentrate on this a bit. Trying to get my eyeshadow, my eye mascara on. Right, so I phoned cops. I have to try, they've given me 3 different, at this point I've got 2 different crime numbers. So I've got to ring up and tell them these 2 different crime numbers for the robbery for me. And then the fact that he'd gone to this woman, they'd given me a crime number for that. You know, if they needed to contact me, this is the crime number, so on and so forth, right? So I ring up, I tell them the 2 crime numbers, and I say, this man's at this hotel and he's in room such and such. Anyway, didn't hear out for about 3 hours. I went to bed, took my phone with me, but I went to bed. Then I got a phone call about, oh, it must have been about 3, 4 in the morning. My mum had gone home and what have you. Get a phone call from copper. Can you come in tomorrow morning and make a statement? We've caught him. Right, so they'd got him, which were amazing. Do you know what I mean? Right, absolutely amazing. So, this ain't very good. I'll just go off camera and finish putting this on. Okay, so I've sort of done that after a fashion, right? So now I'm going to use this lippy, which I got. What did I get this in? I want to say Birchbox this month. And it is in the shade Wine Me. And it's absolutely lovely. It's by Ola Neon, right? And it's sort of a mixture between a lipstick and a lip gloss, which is the only way I could wear lip gloss. But anyway, I love the colour. It's really quite jazzy, you know. The police ring me up in the middle of the night and asked me, can I go in the next day and make a statement? Right, so I said, yeah, no problem. Anyway, I went to the police station. That's gonna have to do. Have I got a bit of tissue? Got a bit of toilet paper to block this with. Okay, so that's sort of a finished look, although I will have to put my glasses on and go check that my eyebrows aren't disappearing off my face. Anyway, so the following day I had to go give a statement at the police station. But the thing was, I didn't just have to give one statement, I had to give 3 different statements. I tell you what, this woman, police officer, sitting across from me. So I got finished the first statement and she went, oh, well, thank you very much. I said, oh, no, there's more. So then I had to tell her about the phone call. So I told her about the robbery first, then I told her about the phone call. And I got to the end of that when she said, oh, well, thanks very much for all your help in that. I said, no, there's more. Right. Then I had to tell her about, you know, this guy ringing me, and that's how they copped him at the hotel. But it were amazing, honestly. I tell you what, it were worth the getting robbed. 1, to be able to help this woman, and 2, to catch this guy. Honestly, it were absolutely worth it. So how that relates to these is, from here on in, when I go out, I'm going to be wearing these. On that hand, on that finger, I ain't taking them off. They're going to be there now every single time I go out, because that is just a small example of the times I've been approached by people in bars that I wish I'd never, you know. So these are going to be on my finger from here on in. People will think they are, in fact, my engagement and wedding band. So that might dissuade people from bothering me. So, yeah, so that's my story. But listen, if you want to get hold of some of these, I'll link everything in the description box, and I absolutely love them. Honestly, they are the most beautiful rings I think I've ever had in my life. So, yeah, and they've got more than this. If you're wanting something slightly more subtle than this, they've got things like that. It's like I say, I went for big and beautiful, bold and beautiful. That's what I went for. And I'm very happy I did, actually, because you better see those from other side at club. So that's everything for today. If you've liked this video, please give us a like. It really helps us out. And if you like this kind of content, you might want to consider subscribing. I've left all my contact details in the description box in case you want to contact me for any reason. And I'll link all these beautiful rings, both these beautiful rings. And also, they sent me a link for Joancee, as well. I'll link that. I'll link whatever they've sent me, so that you could, if you want to buy yourself something, you can go ahead and get yourself one. But thank you very much for taking a few moments out of your day to spend with me. Bye.